Alright, we have another video coming at you. This is going to be a coaching session in the practice range, actually, so let's get into it. Alright.
Alrighty.
So, what rank are you, by the way?
Ooh, I was bronze 1, and then
Okay.
I played a bunch of bad games, and now I'm back to iron 1.
No problem. No problem, it happens. Alright, so the best thing, not the best thing, but what I like to do is warm up with Sage. And I'll show you why. It's very neat. So, the guns you want to warm up with,
nice.
right? You want to use guns that obviously you'll be using in game.
Uh-huh.
I always like to start on bots that do not strafe, and armor fine, infinite ammo fine, that's fine. But like you're just fresh, open, new to the game, or it's a brand new day and you want to warm up from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Always start bots not moving, and either the classic or either the ghost, depending on what champ you play, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I usually like to mess with the ghost. And what lots of people don't understand about warming up and practicing is that your movement is just as important to warm up as your aim. Because when you're in a game, right, you're not just doing this. Oh, the team's rushing me. Let me
let me just
Exactly. So I like to start with the ghost. I like to take my shots either one at a time. Move, shoot. Yeah, let me go ahead and turn down the audio for this because it's pretty loud. So yeah, you want to get familiar with move shooting. Shoot one bullet, move. Shoot one bullet, move. Or like hold shift while you do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like practicing like this isn't really, fruitful, but you want to. Do you know what counter strafing is?
I think so.
So like, if you're holding
you reverse
D,
your momentum, right?
Exactly. You change your direction.
And then it gives you, the accurate shot.
Exactly. So right now, like, what I'm doing is I hold D, tap A. So hold D, tap A, shoot. Hold A, tap D, shoot. But like very quick, like you can see it.
So it's so whenever you're counter strafing, you reverse the momentum and then you just stand still.
Yeah. You can just tap the key. So like I'm holding A, tap D, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do. You press both of them, like, very fast. So you're doing like micro strafes, right? So you're like dancing in place, but your shots are not coming out when you're holding down a button. Only when you tap the other one.
Okay.
Because see, that shot up there is what happens when I shot before I tap the other button.
Yeah, before you do. Alrighty.
So it's just a good habit to. This is how you practice like good movement, good counter strafing, stuff like that. Making sure you're actively aware of your positioning, because staying alive is just as important as headshotting. Like not getting headshotted is just as important as getting your headshots.
Yeah.
So I'd like to do. Go on. Sorry.
If this is kind of probably a stupid question, but what's your opinion on crouching?
So crouching when it comes.
Yeah, I've heard good and bad.
There are good and bad things always. Crouching, when it comes to pistols, it shouldn't be used to retain accuracy. It should be used as a mix-up, a movement mix-up. So like, let's say this guy is trying to shoot my head, right? So like I'm doing my little dance. I throw in a crouch, right?
Oh, no.
To not get headshot. Not to you know, be more accurate when I shoot. The worst thing you can do during pistols is stand still, because when you are defending against the rush or something, there's multiple people coming at you, or you're taking a bomb site, people are going to be run shooting you like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like they'll be close. So you don't want to, or you see someone, oh, you crouch and then start, because you're just sitting there like a, you know, like a duck.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Easily headshot. So if you're at it like an intense duel with someone and you guys are both not shooting each other's head, you throw in a crouch like once or twice, you know?
Just
never hold it. Never hold it. It gets differently when it go on. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Does that pertain to like assault rifles and stuff?
No, it's completely different. This is just pistol round shenanigans, because pistol round is actually an overlooked round, which is the most important in the game. Because,
because it builds that momentum.
Exactly. And when you win pistol round, you buy next round, and the other team saves, right?
Money.
So you're basically ensuring an extra round if you win pistol, because you have Spectre head armor and the others has nothing. They have to save. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's so important to have your pistol round down packed. So warming up, you're shooting these bots, and it's important to practice with armor on, because people will buy armor, and ghosts are not always one-shot headshot. So movement with the practicing, yes. Different distances from the practice bots. You don't always want to be practicing from here. Try doing the same thing from over here.
Yeah, mix it up a little bit.
Exactly. Okay. Sometimes I get really close, because in those pistol rounds, people rush and you play close angles, and you have to do stuff. You have to get ready to flick like people to your immediate right like this. You know, it happens all the time. But you're moving while you're doing it. Like you're doing your tiny little. It's so much to comprehend and do in the moment, but this is why the practice tool is a thing. You know, it's supposed to be hard, because it's something you're supposed to learn over long periods of time, and this is what people practice all the time. Mm-hmm. After thinking about it for a long time, it will become muscle memory to you, and it'll just be incorporated into your gameplay. But at first, it will be you'll have to drill it in. So, different heights, different distances, stuff like this. Like, let's say you're a heaven player, you know, and you're constantly looking down at people at A, right? You need practice from this angle too. Just try to throw yourself off and get familiar with it. So there's lots of stuff you can do, and you can even put them on like different heights and stuff, you know, like.
That's smart.
You see, this is why practicing with Raze is actually super neat. I mean, not Raze, fucking Sage. So, and it actually comes into better usage when you put strafing on. So, but we'll get to that later. Classic, depending on who you play, you might not have the ghost. Because some people are really important to have your utility first round, so you'll be buying all utility or just like armor, you know what I mean? So like you want to practice using this classic, because it's very, very good actually, especially with this burst option.
So do you? I noticed. Do you do like 2 single taps and then a right click?
Yes, it's good. It's good to practice, and because having right click in your arsenal means you can have more movement available to you. Because let's say you know this guy's around the wall, right? You know, for whatever reason. You can't jump shoot in this game. Well, you can, but it's super inaccurate. With burst fire or like shotguns, you know, it's accurate.
Yeah. Oh, so is bursting the same thing?
Yes.
Oh, I did not know.
So you do this, you can do it right in their head. It's 100% accurate.
That's really good to know.
So like if let's say you're the first person on your team and you're entry fragging, that's what they call it, and you're entry fragging for a site, or like even hookah. You run in. Let's see. Here, I'll make a.
It's hookah. Perfect.
Oh, whatever. So this is, pretend like this is, I'm entering hookah. So to the left is the corner and to the right is the site. Okay? So if I'm doing this, I have a classic, right? And you're going fast. You're going fast, like you're rushing. You know, like jump, get ready to have your burst ready. You jump, look here. Or like, you jump and look here. So A, it makes you harder to get headshot. And B, you can still attack with your burst fire in midair.
That's really good to know.
And you might think it like it's just suicide running in and jumping, but the thing is, they're not going to expect you to run and jump in, so you're harder to headshot. And as they are trying to kill you, taking their time, like aiming in this, like in the air, and then like back down trying to kill you, your teammates are rushing in to provide support for you. So staying alive is very important there. But not to necessarily say just swinging is bad. It's just very situational if you have the classic to have burst fire in your arsenal for that specific situation, you know?
Yeah.
And when you are sneaking up on someone and they have a full buy and you only have a classic, you can still kill them, you know? Like left click, right click. It's while keeping your movement up there. So yeah, that's little classic things that people overlook. So yeah, so stationary boss, you want to spend most of your time warming up to make you feel good and get your thing. And here's another tip. When you are shooting these bots, in your peripherals, you're looking for your next target. It's very good practice. So like, you're looking at this guy, in your head you're thinking, who's the next guy I'm going to kill? Where am I going, right? You're not just looking, alright, kill him. Okay, he's dead. He's dead. This is how you get that flick mentality that constantly like acquiring targets, right? So like here, I'm gonna kill to my left now. Right, left, left. This guy close, far, left. You know?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be hard to do that. Obviously you're gonna miss a lot, but when you have specific, you're not just randomly like shooting in the crowd. You have targets that you are trying to hit.
Building those skills up.
You're constantly thinking like, okay, switch to him. Best thing to do is go left, right, you know, close. And another thing is, the way to practice this even further is if you take, I have to go here. If you take armor off, you change your target before you even see them die. Like, you shoot your shot, even if it misses, you're switching target. You see? And if you miss, you go back.
Because you're focusing on that headshot.
Yeah. Like, I'm just constantly looking for my next target. And this will help you train your speed, your reaction, and your active thinking while in those situations. And you'll get used to, like, you're having a duel with someone, or you kill them, and then their teammate flies out. Like, you'll be ready, you know?
Yeah. So
that's usually what it comes to with pistols. After I do that, and I will warm up with Vandal or Phantom, even on stationary too. just to get a good feel for it. And then after a while, you will turn on strafe. I like to play on medium speed. I don't know if there actually is many differences. I always just put it on medium. This is where you'll feel shitty because you'll miss so many shots and you'll feel like it's impossible and you feel like you're not getting any better by shooting these targets. But what you want to do?
Are you?
Sorry, go on.
You're two tapping with the Vandal, right? Do you do
small bursts
or small bursts? Okay.
Small bursts always, because it's so much better to do small burst reposition than sit there and like.
That's true. Yeah.
Because why?
Well, because you don't. Yeah, you don't want to die.
You don't want to die. Not getting headshotted is just as important. So, burst, move, burst, move. It's a little different because you know how I said you're doing your little dance with your pistol and shooting in between each of your counter strafes? With the Vandal and the Phantom, when you're doing your bursts, you are going to be stationary a little longer. So you get 3 or 4 bullets out.
And then you move again.
And then you move again. Boom. But you see how I'm changing targets even when I'm missing my shots? I'll go back to them.
Yeah, you practice that like clicking and stuff.
Exactly. This helps you with target switching. But my movement is up there, right? I'm not dropping either of them. Just making sure it's all there, and it's one like one well-oiled machine, moving and shooting. Your movement and your shooting should be like synonymous, right?
That's definitely a thing I gotta work on. I definitely fall victim to the whole, oh, I see a guy, let's just crouch.
Exactly. It's a horrible habit that people get into, but you can fix it just by sitting in the practice range. And by doing this.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna spend a lot of time on this one.
Oh yeah, it's huge. So what I like to do sometimes is create like fake hallways like this, right? So like they're,
and you can peek around them and stuff.
Yeah, so they'll like peek at me. You can peek around them.
That's really smart.
And then sometimes when you set them up, then they'll even like peek for you. Like sometimes they'll be like stuck. If you set it up perfectly, then they'll wide swing the angle that you're holding. And then like you can practice stuff like that. Different angles, height differences, all that stuff is very good. Like you can do so much in this practice range that people just do not take advantage of, right?
Yeah, I never thought about the stage thing.
I wouldn't worry about tapping. Tapping is more flashy than it is effective.
Okay.
The only times I ever tap are when, you know, those super, you only see their head or like the top of their head. Like if they're pushing in to hookah and you're like CT spawn.
Yeah.
You only see their head. That's when like you can start like try and tap and like be precise, and you can even ADS and maybe tap it, see if get a headshot instead of like trying to spray from so long. But I really wouldn't worry about tapping because your pistols will practice that, because this is essentially tapping.
Yeah, and then okay, cool.
So burst, move. This is the best thing you can do.
Yeah, I'll spend a bunch of time on that.
Yep. Now it depends on like what gun, you know, obviously you use that differently, but if you want to use both guns, you know, you want to spend some time with the Vandal and the Phantom, but I'm just a Vandal player. It's just my preference. I hate when I shoot their head and they don't die with the Phantom.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at the. I used to use the Phantom, so I'm trying to get better at the Vandal.
Yeah, I mean, like, you might see more results with the Phantom because it's just, like, I think the Phantom has a lower skill ceiling, but you might have more results with it in the short term. But if you use the Vandal for a long time and you become a monster, you're gonna win every duel, right? Because you shoot them in the head, they shoot you in the head, they're dead, and you have 10 HP. It's the difference.
Yeah.
And then you can get healed by Sage. It's huge. It's huge in my opinion. So yeah, is there any questions or anything you want to go over? I don't. Yeah.
What's like the biggest tip you would just give out to anyone who's kind of like mediocre at shooter games?
Crosshair placement. 100% crosshair placement. I actually didn't go over the other part of the aim duel the aim training that they have here. That is actually a very nice tool. But I don't want people and beginners to spend so much time on it, even though it's like the flashiest of shots or like the little things. It's the whole flicking, like major flicking, like not just like this flicking, like.
Yeah, is that the 100? Oh, that one. Okay.
Like this kind of flicking.
You go back to the middle. Ooh.
Right. So like I haven't played it all today. I'm not warmed up, so it's gonna look really ugly. But this is how like flicking practice would look. You put your crosshair back in the middle at headshot level, and you flick, and you don't aim it up. You don't line it up. You don't try.
You go for it.
You let Jesus take the wheel, and you flick to them, and you shoot.
Yeah, you hope it hits.
You think, like, a lot of people thinks it's random, or like it's unpracticable, right? But if I do this flicking challenge, like 100 bots, and you do it, my score will be a lot higher, you know, because I've practiced flicking, and you get that that sense, like that sixth sense of flicking to someone. You're like, oh shit, and you flick and you shoot their head, and you're like, oh my god, I just got so lucky. But
yeah, you build up that kind of
exactly. But it's practice.
No, I wouldn't be hitting any of these.
So you can, I would say this kind of aiming takes up 20% of the times you're actually killing someone. So it's still important to practice, but you don't want to spend all of your time on it. You can start with the easy speed with the skill test, and the best thing you want to do is use a sheriff or like Fantal or Vandal. You can even do it with like bursting, right?
And then you can
give yourself a small burst and go back to the center. Yeah, exactly. This is really good to do. And then you can increase the speed if you find it too easy. With the sheriff is a really good gun, and a lot of times when you're ecoing, if you hit your headshots with the sheriff, you can turn an eco round around and win. Because it's one-shot headshot. So it's good to practice. What I like to do is you flick your first shot and readjust the second one.
What do you mean when you say readjust?
So like, if you divide the flicking into portions, it's the surprise factor. Like, oh shit, you flick because it pops up on your screen and you shoot. And if that doesn't kill, you readjust to where your flick was to where they actually are.
Okay.
So let's say you're aiming here and they pop up at this pillar. So you flick here. Oh, that's obviously way too far. And then the readjust shot.
So okay, cool. Yeah, so and then you hope that first shot hits.
Exactly. So here 2 shots with the sheriff. This is really good practice. You flick. Your first one, you're just whipping it out there. See how close you can get. The second one, you're readjusting. Hopefully you hit their head.
Cool.
See? I get close with my flick, readjust, shoot.
And then, yeah, if you get lucky with that first shot, then...
Exactly. And then if you get lucky, then hell yeah.
Yeah, so this is movement, and then I'm going to be working on this a lot.
Yeah, when it comes to flicking like this, you don't need to worry about movement. It's very difficult. But this is just like something to make your warm-ups like not boring. You know, switch it up, constantly doing new drills.
Yeah, working on different things.
Exactly, and because there is lots of times where you will be surprised by the enemies. So like, like if you're like aiming here, for example. Oh shit! Right? Someone pop up on the screen. Bam!
Yeah, and you gotta be ready for that.
You have to be ready. Like it's a hard shot to hit. Most of the time you will die, but it's not impossible. You know. So, now, well, before I move on, do you have any questions or you want to talk about?
I just wanted to ask one more about the movement.
Okay.
So, are you just like constantly bouncing between A and D, or is it like move, tap the other one, stand still, move, tap the other one, stand still?
I'm constantly bouncing.
Okay. Like if you're in a duel, you're just bouncing back and forth.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm just doing like the, you know, salsa in place right here. I'm trying to bob and weave their headshots. When it comes to pistols, right?
Uh-huh.
Because with the burst firing like this,
that's you stand still.
You have to. It takes longer because you're firing 3 to 4 shots rather than shooting just one tapping with a pistol.
Mm-hmm. So
and you don't want to be inaccurate with your burst, so you have to stay still with your burst. So it's just a much slower version of the pistol movement.
All right.
Yeah. So spraying. It can be rough, and it can make you feel really bad. But it's very important to learn, because a lot of the times you will be spraying, and like if they are like this close to you right here, you're not going to be bursting, right? Like you're going to be spraying. So you have to have all 3 trifectas of aiming: tapping, flicking, spraying, bursting. There's so much to aiming when it comes to it, and crosshair placement is a whole nother animal. So if you look, I don't know if you've ever seen that YouTube video of the barrel of the gun will be leading the shots of where it goes. So if you just look at the barrel of my gun, right, where like the model of it, do you see how it's swaying left and right?
Yeah.
If you counter those movements, your bullets will always be straight. It's super weird to think about, and I thought it was super interesting when I watched the video. But if you're so like right now, you see it goes left, right, left, right. If you see your barrel go left, you pull a little to the right. If you see it go to the right, you pull it a little to the left. This is all out of your peripheral. You're not staring at your gun in the middle of a fight.
Oh yeah, and then that's like, dang, okay.
You see?
Yeah.
You don't need to know the spray pattern. In games like Counter-Strike, it was 100% the same pattern every time. This game does not have the same pattern every time. It is a little random each time. So, but what people I figured out is that the barrel will move first before your bullets will go there.
So you just gotta.
So, if you go in the practice range and you try it for yourself, at first, only watch the barrel of your gun. Don't give a fuck about the crosshair. You just hold it down and you watch, and you just try to control it based on where your barrel's going. If it goes to the right or left, you pull it a little to the other way. And you'll see how actually accurate your bullets will be without you even knowing. And after you practice for a long period of time, you can see it, those micro movements from your peripherals, and you'll be able to adjust on the spot. Like I don't know the patterns. Like a little to the left, right. I don't know them. Mm-hmm. I am only going off of the model of the gun.
Yeah, and that's still like, yeah, okay.
And it's super interesting to think about, and no other game has ever done this. But you can just keep practicing it, and you see how far you have to move to the right or to the left or up and down. And this thing right here is a good tool to keep your bullets in the center here. And you just keep practicing. Spraying is very difficult. Like, it's something that is very, very hard to master. But you still need to try and practice it, you know. Because your best friend will be bursting. Moving, bursting, moving, bursting. Like, I'm not even good at spraying. I can do it, but I will, if I'm sitting here spraying someone this far away, and I get to like my 10th bullet, oh, it's over. I'm dead. I'm not good at spraying. But best friend, bursting, moving. It'll get you very far. Very far.
And then you usually do bursts like 3 and 4 bullets?
Yes.
Cool.
I think most of the time it's 3 to 4, yeah, 3 to 4. So, like I said, you know, different angles up here. And I'm going to be, I've recorded this whole session and I'm going to be posting it on YouTube so you can, before you warm up, you can skip through the video and rehash over the things that I've said and we've talked about.
Awesome.
So is there anything that I missed, maybe? Or stuff that you want to go over?
I think I'm good. That was super helpful.
That's good, that's good. Yeah, so the walls, you can create yourself little situations. You know, pretend like you're taking this corner with the aiming things. Aim one, go up one, down. Switch between different elevations to get yourself. It's going to feel so uncomfortable. You're going to miss a lot, but you're supposed to, you know? Mm-hmm. You just have to keep drilling it out until you feel good about it.
Yeah, as long as you're working on that stuff.
And that's the aim part. I mean, I can go a little into crosshair placement, but I might make a whole video just on crosshair placement, because if you have good crosshair placement, you don't need insane aim.
Yeah,
because they just walk into it. They just walk into your shots, right? So like if someone's right here, right, and a silver player aims like this, oh shit, right? Then they're relying on flicking to kill them.
Yeah, which is
It's inconsistent. If you have good crosshair placement, right? It just lines up. You're not aiming at anything. Mm-hmm. You're not doing some crazy flick, highlight reel, you know? You're just like, okay, he's in this corner, I think. I'm clearing this corner. All you have to do is click, and they'll die, you know?
Yeah.
Hold down mouse 1. But, if you always have your crosshair head level, right, aiming becomes a lot easier for you. Kills will come more naturally if you have your crosshair constantly in the right place. You can't autopilot when you're playing Valorant, right? Even if you're flanking behind and you think they're all just in the bomb site, you're scared of that one lurker. right? You're still doing this. You're still looking here. Oh, here, nothing. Here. Always at head level. Okay, I'm clearing this corner. Always here. Head level.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll see that you'll see yourself getting so many kills, so much more kills, and just for being active with your thinking when it comes to your crosshair. Because like, oh, it's C? Okay. Coming. Rotating. You know?
Yeah.
And then you'll have one guy right here watching the flank doing this.
And you're just, oof, you walk right into it.
You just walk right in here. You're not ready, right? So there are times you have to go fast, but it doesn't mean you don't clear corners here, right? So like you're doing this. When I'm rotating, I'm looking. I'm still going quick, but I'm still like checking my angles while I'm rotating.
Yeah, you're still making sure you check it.
Exactly. Check your corners. Have good crosshair placement. Always think. Always think. So, I guess that covers it. I mean, unless you can think of anything. Opping, you know, scouting, it's just you don't need
Point and
to.
shoot.
Yeah, it's that the aim that comes with opping is tied in with flicking practice. Flicking practice, burst, target change, it all translates to the op. Or
Yeah, so
you know,
you
the
get good at
martial.
those other things.
Exactly, it'll just come. And you don't actually have to specifically warm up for the op. Unless like you're an op main, then maybe like you can make a point to do it, but it's a little whack.
Yeah, I think I'll focus on the Vandal for now.
Yeah, for sure. It's you'll get to those points where you'll feel frustrated, but you have to, like, it's a exponential curve of you learning, right? The graph. Like if you put in all the effort with a Vandal, you'll become a monster. You know.
What I like to hear.
You'll get them. But yeah. So I mean, if you can't think of anything, then
Yeah, I think
guess
I'm chilling.
that's
Thank you so much for your help.
Yeah, man. If you have any questions, any little questions, you could always DM me, or if you want me to do a review, like if you want a coaching session of a game you played, we can go over that too. You know, you just reschedule something and upload.
Yeah, I'll throw another thing in.
Yeah, and upload a YouTube clip, and we'll go over it together, and we'll look at crosshair placement, we'll look at how you shoot, and we'll look at other things too, and we'll break it apart and see how it goes.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Again, thank you so much for your help.
Hey, no problem. Glad to be of help. What's up?
I hope your voice feels better.
Thanks. Yeah, I want to be eating these Hall's breezers all day.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Take it easy.
You too.